back to my channel. We are back for some more Pokemon conspiracy theories. Today we're going to be reading the weirdest theories about the Pokemon universe. I think I read that there's like maybe 9 in here, or 10, but just get right into it. If you've been playing Pokemon since the 1900s, or at least heard of it, you'll know it's a bit strange. As we've all grown to love, or obsess, over the little pocket monsters, the more you think about it, the weirder the idea of pitting two animals against each other in a fight before returning them into a tiny, windowless cages becomes. But then there are theories. Regularly, a Pokemon theory is just so weird that it actually makes perfect sense and harmonizes so well with the Poke madness that is actually it makes for a richer Poke world. What follows are the best examples of such successful Pokemon theories. We'll try not to blow your Poke mind. Number 1, Slowpoke is ominescent. Slowpoke, second to Magikarp and Bidoof in terms of mockery, is regularly ridiculed for its sluggishness. Its Pokédex entry describes it as incredibly slow and dopey and says that awake or asleep there is a little difference for Slowpoke. Slowpoke does resemble these remarks, sporting to perpetual glaze-eyed staring, only vaguely responding to being attacked. However, these things get complicated when it notices a psychic type, which are hyper-intelligent, and that it evolves into one of the smartest Pokemon in the world. One starts to wonder what exactly goes on in that Pokebrain. The folk of TV tropes came up with the mind blast answers that everything is Slowpoke is pokey because it's ominescent, and the constant bombardment of information leaves it detached and unresponsive to the world around it. According to this theory, a shelter bite, which is supposed to inspire a Slowbro, actually hinders Slowpoke's ominescence by grounding it in there and now. Suddenly, it makes sense that Slowpoke evolves into a super smart Slowking. It just needs a little highly poisonous nipple to focus on its thoughts. Number 2, all of the Pokemon games take place after a great war. Think about it. Why do you hardly ever see adults in the games? There is no one to stop all these 10-year-olds from running around on extremely dangerous adventures. And just why is it so important that all the Pokemon trainers need to permanently be battle ready? Because there was a great war not long before the Pokemon game started that saw many adult men die, and how everyone lives their lives in constant fear. Even children need to be ready to defend their homes. It's not just a lack of father figure that corroborates to the theory, though. What a few adults remain can actually be found in the nurses, the Pokemon centers, tending to the wounded, or as gym leaders training up to the new generation of elite fighters. When you take on Lieutenant Surgeon Blue in Red and Blue, he even tells you the electric Pokemon saved me during the war. It also explains why all the towns you visit are so small. The towns you visit are so small, there isn't much of them left. Number 3, you murdered your rival's Pokemon. You may think you're a hero in Pokemon Red and Blue, but you're actually a bit of an asshole. Remember your rival Gary? The first few times you fought him on your travels and used Eradicate to sink his teeth into you? Later on, you meet him in the Lavender Town Pokemon Tower, a massive gravesite for your little monster friends, and he asks you if you know what it feels like to have one of your Pokemon die. He also never used his Eradicate again. And it's theorized that in the crowds and confusions after your last battle aboard the SS, and he was unable to get to the Pokemon Center in time to help his friend, and his Eradicate passed away, making you the implicit in his murder. Let's not forget how you beat him down mere moments after he achieved his dream of becoming a Pokemon champion, stealing all of his praise from his own grandfather. Not such a nice guy after all, are you? What was that? Number 4. Pokemon are energy beings that manipulates physics. It takes a real stick in the mud to demand a sound of science for a world that contains electric mice, moon creatures, and malevolent balloons. It is usually easier to just cry wizard and move on, but the Reddit user Nameless88 apparently isn't one for easy answers. In early 2013, Nameless noted that inside a Pokeball it just seems to be covered in mirrors and hypnotized that the Pokemon is converted into light and then bounces around inside the ball at light speed. Pokemon possesses the ability to convert matter into energy, and the Pokeball just exploits it. The theory led to a landslide of other ideas, making more sense than the last. Pokemon convert energy into matter, allowing them to manifest fire, stars, giant hands, and such for their attacks. However, the unconscious Pokemon can't be captured with a Pokeball because they can't execute the conversion. Pokemon store energy as they gain experience when they evolve, the massive amount that they release and convert it into their new bodies. Basically, this theory suggests that Pokemon is more scientifically sound than entirely of the core. Number 5. Cubone is a mutated baby Kangaskhan. Sometimes a theory is so prominent and widely accepted that the fans start to believe that it was developers' intentions all along and were waiting on just some leaked concept art or the creator's commentary to seal the deal. One widespread theory of the nature of Cubone's origin fits that bill. It inserts that a Kangaskhan dies, her baby takes the skull and wears it, becoming a Cubone and stating a different evolutionary path. Morbid, right? The theory is supported by the fact that baby Kangaskhan has a model nearly identical of that to a Cubone, with only a slight color differentiation. Further, both Pokemon share a uniquely strong mother-child connection, and no one really knows what happens to a baby Kangaskhan as it ages. The idea has become so popular that some claim it to be a fact, and assert Red and Blue's infamous missing note glitch was actually intended to be a bridging evolution between Cubone and Kangaskhan before it was removed. Man, talk about the mommy issues. Number 6. Dittos are corrupted Mews. Generation 1's favorite legendary critter, Mew, could be regarded as the ultimate Pokemon since it's technically all of them at once. Its genetic code contains the DNA of every Pokemon in existence and can transform into one at any of its leisure. There's one other Pokemon capable of pulling that trick, Ditto. The mimic blob that is not only similarity they share, in fact they have enough in common that they have theorized that Dittos are Mews. They've just been corrupted. The evidence for this one is simple but compelling. Dittos and Mews are the only two Pokemon that can use Transform. They have the same coloration both in their normal and shiny forms. They, stay with me here, weigh the same amount at 8.8 pounds. Altogether, the small commonalities create the semblance of the actually pretty convincing. What corrupted Ditto Mews is anyone guess that maybe they failed the clones? There's an established lore that the Pokemon scientists had tried to clone Mew, and that's why Mewtwo exists, or transform so much that they forget what they used to be. But in any case, the resemblance is uncanny. And really, what's a little amorphous property amongst family? What was this, 7? Venomoth and Butterfree are the wrong way around. Everyone makes mistakes, it's only human, so it should come to no surprise that sometimes the game developers can get things wrong too. Perhaps even getting spites swapped the wrong way around. Just look at the Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree evolution and compare that to Venonat and Venomoth. Yes, they're both fairly similar flying insects, but why does Butterfree have the same bulbous red eyes and purple coloring as Venonat? And take a closer look at Metapod's spiky head. It looks awfully a lot of the hair and fur on top of Venomoth. No one ever admitted that it was a mistake, so they remained canon ever since, but you can't help but be doubtful when you compare them side by side. That is a little strange, isn't it? Sorry, my nose itches. Number 8. Arceus used Unknown to create the universe. When a creature gets a nickname like the original one, there's a good chance it's going to be a god allegory, and Arceus is no exception. Put into the beginning of existence, its Pokédex entry claims that it shaped the universe with its 1,000 arms, which seems pretty godlike. However, given that it's an acquired Pokemon with only legs to speak of, one just wonders what those arms were, and some point to Unknown as Arceus' tools of creation. Unknown, weak while alone, can alter reality when brought together. For instance, a group of them are able to create Entei and Crystal Palace out of thin air. This theory suggests that Arceus used the Unknown to work its will, like in the Shinjo ruins, where the clouds of Unknown appear when Arceus manifests the eggs of one of the creation trio Pokemon. For the skills to be considering the following, the sound made of the plethora of Unknown is heard of the Azure Flute, the very item that allows the encounter with Arceus in the wild. Coincidence? Wake up, Sinnoh. Sorry, that one got a little bit tough to read. What is this one, number 9? I don't know. Pokemon don't say their names. Language was created around their battle cries. Language is weird. Just as often as words are created to describe something, the characteristics of that thing become influential of the information for those words. In onomatopoeia, for instance, I'm glad I know that word, it's the word that imitates the sound it describes, like boom or screech. It is emphatically the source of its own name and language should change to conform to that. No, this isn't your 10th grade English class. This idea just applies perfectly to the theory that Pokemon aren't saying their names at all. Instead, the sound they make influenced language. Think about it. What is the likelihood that the fire salamander would not only recognize its fantastic word smush as its name, but vocally able to mimic it? It is more believable that early humans heard Charmander and saw the light stuff on his fire and decided to associate to charring stuff. Occam's razor says that humans likely integrated the cries of Pokemon into language organically, showing the important Pokemon are to the development of the human society. And you just learned something from magic fighting energy monsters. You're welcome. On that note, I hope you all enjoyed. Tell me what you think your weirdest Pokemon theory is. And maybe put them down in the comments. If you have any other theories for me to read, feel free to also put those down in the comments. I love you guys. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, thumbs up. Also, if you videos, which is whenever. Yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.